Hey, just saw I missed your call. What's up? For millions of people, a ringing phone brings a jolt of anxiety. So why is a simple phone call sending so many of us into a panic? This isn't just a minor preference. For many, it's a genuine phobia. The phenomenon is called telephobia, the fear and anxiety tied to making and taking phone calls. And while it's incredibly common for those born in the late 90s and early 2000s, it's a feeling people of all ages are starting to share. Research from Australia, for instance, delivered a jaw-dropping stat. 90% of Gen Z report feeling anxious about talking on the phone. This figure comes from youth and university-led communication studies and reflects reported discomfort or anxiety rather than a clinical diagnosis. For some, a potentially awkward call is one of the top 3 things they'd rather avoid in life. This is more than just a personality quirk. It's a deep psychological and cultural shift that's changing how we connect and, maybe most dramatically, how the modern workplace has to operate. So let's hang up on our preconceptions and figure out why so many of us would rather do anything else than answer the phone. Welcome back to Mentor's Mindset. Before we get to the why, let's appreciate the what. This aversion is real. When one content creator's video claiming nearly 75% of young people avoid phone calls went viral, it struck a chord with millions who felt completely seen. The anxiety is especially bad when the call is unscheduled or from a number they don't recognize. Many people now automatically assume an unexpected ring means trouble, which just makes them want to pick up even less. And this isn't just a personal hang-up. In the professional world, the numbers are just as stark. A 2025 report noted that a staggering 67% of workers under 34 actively dodge calls at work. This is based on aggregated workplace communication surveys conducted between 2024 and 2025. This has become so common that recruiters now describe young applicants as so hard to get hold of, because many will simply ignore calls about job opportunities, a practice we all now know as ghosting. It's easy to write this off as laziness or bad social skills, but that's barely scratching the surface. The reality is way more complicated. We are now a society of digital natives who grew up with smartphones not just as gadgets, but as extensions of our entire social lives. For many, texting and DMs aren't just alternatives, they're the default. It's their native language. Phone calls are becoming a foreign tongue. And speaking a foreign language, especially when you're put on the spot, is naturally stressful. So what's going on in the brain when that ringtone sends a shiver down the spine? It really comes down to a few key things. First, and most importantly, is control. Texting is asynchronous. It gives you the space to read a message, think about it, craft the perfect reply, edit it for tone, and then send it when you're good and ready. A phone call is synchronous and spontaneous. It demands your immediate attention and a real-time performance, with no script and no backspace key. That pressure to perform can trigger what's known as performance anxiety, making a simple call feel like a high-stakes improv scene. Second, phone calls strip away a huge part of communication, non-verbal cues. As social animals, we rely on facial expressions and body language to figure out what someone really means. On a phone, all of that is gone. That silence on the other end, are they mad? Are they distracted? Or just thinking? Without those visual cues, our minds tend to fill in the blanks, often with the worst-case scenario. It's like trying to navigate a social interaction blindfolded. Third, there's the issue of cognitive overload. A phone call forces you to listen, process, and speak all at once. For a brain that's used to the focused one thing at a time nature of texting, this multitasking can feel totally draining. As one behavior expert, Anuja Lunia, described it, a phone call is a sudden demand on their emotional bandwidth, which can feel intrusive to anyone already dealing with a world of constant digital pings. And finally, it's a skill that has simply gone unpracticed. Mary Jane Copps, a communication expert known as the phone lady, points out that talking on the phone is a learned skill. For decades, we never thought of it that way because everyone just did it. But as landlines vanished and smartphones with texting plans became the norm, those mandatory practice sessions of calling a friend's house and making small talk with their parents just disappeared. So what about you? Does your heart start pounding when you get an unexpected call, or do you think the phone is still the best way to really connect? Let us know your preference in the comments, team text or team call. This shift isn't just personal, it's completely reshaping the professional world. With Gen Z and Millennials now making up the biggest slice of the US labor force, their habits are quickly becoming the new normal. The old workplace hierarchy, with its stuffy emails and scheduled calls, is being challenged. Younger professionals are digital first. They're fluent in a language of speed, visuals, and authenticity, gravitating toward platforms like Slack and Microsoft Teams for their quick and direct nature. These platforms are less important than what they represent. Fast, low-pressure, written communication that allows time to think before responding. They value getting straight to the point and often see long, formal emails as a waste of time. This inevitably creates some intergenerational friction. A study from the ADP Research Institute found that 58% of employees have witnessed intergenerational conflicts at work, with most blaming it on different communication styles. A manager from an older generation might want a phone call to hash out details, but their younger employee might see that as a disruptive interruption, preferring a quick DM instead. Older generations often associate formality with professionalism, while younger workers communicate in short, casual bursts, using emojis and GIFs to add tone, which can be misinterpreted as unprofessional or too familiar. The consequences are real. This communication gap can slow down decisions and frustrate everyone involved. A Robert Walters study found that half of Gen Z and Millennial employees feel uncomfortable making professional phone calls. It even affects hiring. That trend of ghosting recruiters who call out of the blue is a direct symptom of this anxiety, and it can cause talented people to miss out on big opportunities. But it's not all bad news. The push for more direct and authentic communication is also forcing companies to be more transparent. Many people value honest feedback and have little patience for corporate jargon, a pressure that can lead to healthier and more open workplace cultures. So, how do we move forward? The answer isn't to force everyone to suddenly love phone calls, nor is it to declare the phone dead. The future is all about adapting and building bridges. For workers looking to build confidence, the key is gradual exposure. Experts suggest starting small, like sending voice notes to practice conveying tone without the pressure of a live conversation. When a call is unavoidable, sending a heads-up text like, "Hey, got 5 mins for a quick call about the project?" can do wonders to ease the anxiety of an unexpected ring. It sets expectations and gives them a moment to prepare. For managers and colleagues, empathy is everything. Try to recognize that a preference for texting isn't about laziness, but about efficiency and a need for control. The best approach is a mix of channels. Use Slack or Teams for quick questions and reserve calls for more complex, nuanced discussions. When you do need to call, just be direct and state the purpose up front. Clear and authentic communication is something every generation values. Progressive companies are already figuring this out. They're creating cultures of reverse mentoring, where younger employees help older colleagues get comfortable with new digital tools. At the same time, organizations are realizing the need for better communication training. And to prove they aren't antisocial, just pro-intentional interaction, studies show that many in Gen Z actually rank face-to-face as their most preferred form of communication, even above texting. The dislike for phone calls isn't a sign of a generation that's broken or can't communicate. It's the logical evolution for a society that grew up with the world's information right in their pockets. Modern communication styles have been forged by technology that prizes control, efficiency, and the ability to respond on our own terms. The anxiety is a very real response to a type of communication that feels unpredictable, demanding, and stripped of all the context we're used to. As younger generations continue to pour into the workforce, their preferences are forcing a necessary evolution in how we all connect. The challenge now is not to fight this change, but to understand it and adapt. By blending the efficiency of digital tools with the irreplaceable value of voice and face-to-face connection, we can build a communication landscape that's more inclusive, flexible, and effective for everyone. The phone call isn't dead, but it has been dethroned. The future of communication isn't about one tool winning, but about all of us learning to speak each other's languages. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment. See you soon.